Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley Showcase preview of the next Hot Wheels Diorama Set, box set, collector set. I think internally Mattel calls it a collector set. This is the first of 2025. It is an Advan livery, which is fantastic. So I'm actually doing two car shows for you today. Typically, I showcase the new stuff and then do a car show. I'm actually going to do an Advan car show to start, all the Hot Wheels Advans, show you this set, and then I'm going to do a car show with a couple of these castings as well. So very, very excited. This is a great set. Within the confines of how Hot Wheels does this, this is about as good as it gets. I mean, I think if there was one set that was the most popular of these collector sets, it was probably the first Skyline set with the R32, 33, and 34. All in white. It was just perfectly themed. You know, Skyline was the theme, and then they did all in white. Sometimes it seems a little more random, like it's going to be, like it's too generalized, like rally or racing. But this one is right in the money. Right in the dart, you know, right in the dartboard, like right in the middle, right? It just hits the bullseye. Advan is the theme. You get 3 Advan cars. You get a new casting in this. Now, I'll get it out of the way right out of the gate. I don't like who does like the fact that they repeat some SKUs, some models in this. In this case, the Porsche 962 is the repeat. That annoys me because, and I know it annoys everybody. I understand how, Mattel's reasoning. I think internally it allows some expansion of lines and all that kind of stuff. And I think every set has had a repeat of some sort. Maybe not everyone, but most of them have. Well, no, of course not, because the white Skylines were. But it happens. I should go back. No, a lot of sets haven't had repeats, but this one does, and it's fine. We'll deal with it. But for the cost that you get here, I really wish that they would have put a third model with the Advan, like a third original model with the Advan. Doesn't have to be a new casting, but just take an existing casting and put the Advan livery on it. I think that would have been better. That being said, this one is really, really cool. So we'll get that complaint out of the way, and now we'll just focus on how awesome this set is. So let's start with the Advan showcase. All right, so we've got Advan models here. I'll show you the back. I'm assuming this will be in stores very soon. Mattel sent this to me so I can showcase it for you. Yeah, Advan, did I already show you this part? I think I did. Those are the models that are inside. Aerolift, Porsche 962, Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR Liberty Walk, and the Toyota MR2 TRD 2000 GT, new casting. Very excited to have a look at that. But let's start with a Advan show to go. In fact, I had to, the Advan livery, it's so iconic. Everyone does it. I even themed a Lamley sticker off of the colors of Advan. I hope people noticed that. That was on purpose. I just love the color combination. I didn't want to replicate the stripes because those are iconic to Advan, but I do like that color combination of the red, the black, and the white. So I actually did a sticker based on that, but that's just to show you how much I like it. Let's try and get through. There's basics and then there are premiums. This is obviously a premium set, so we'll go through those quickly after the basics. And I don't know what the first Advan car was. It may have been a Super Treasure Hunt, to be honest. I could be wrong. Actually, no, it may have been... Well, actually, I'm going to find out because I have 2 in this show to open. I went through my Advan collection, realized I actually have been starting collecting cars based on their decos, and I realized there were 2 I didn't have. I didn't have the regular Nissan Fairlady Z, and I didn't have the Lancer Evolution. I've never been a real fan of this casting, so I went out and bought them. This one shows 2017. This one shows 2015. So I believe the first Advan model was the Nissan Fairlady Z that came in this basic version and as a Super Treasure Hunt. So let's just open this one up so we can build the entire Advan collection and then add to it. Opening it with gloves is kind of hard, but we can do it. I think there's a rare variation on this one too, but that's not what this is. I just bought this one on eBay. We'll put it on the turntable so you can see it. In fact, you know what? I'll just put both on the turntable. So I'll just show them to you real quick. So regular and Super from 2015 in Advan livery. The fact that they did a Super in Advan livery is pretty cool. This Shark Nose Z, Kaido House logo on this. This is when June was still designing. Kaido House was like his own kind of like personal brand before he obviously expanded it later on into what it is now. But you got the Yokohama deco, the Advan deco, some Hot Wheels deco, Kaido House on the hood. So that's a very, very cool model. So we'll just say that was the first one, right, with the Advan livery, at least in basic. And then this may have been the next one, is the 2008 Lancer Evolution. This casting is too big. I've never been a huge fan of it. When you do basic, sometimes this wraparound doesn't totally work because it just gets cut off. But it did get the roof, right? Yokohama as well. So we'll open this one up. I just, you know, I've only started recently collecting. I don't collect every deco, but I've been trying to build the Falcon, Advan, Momo, and I mean, there's Gulf, but I don't have Gulf. Momo, I think that's Momo, Falcon, and Moon Eyes, of course. I've always done Moon Eyes. There's the first three basics. Putting that down this way, and then I think the other two, with the only recolor we've ever had outside of a Super Treasure Hunt, we got the 180 SX, which is this is a great version. I love the way they did the Advan striping on the hood. 96. This is a 1996 model, isn't it? Right? It's 96 Nissan 180 SX Type X. In this livery with the gold rims, I thought was really cool. Aero, like the turbofan rims that they did. They get the Advan hits on the roof too, which is nice. So it essentially, the way they do basics, it wraps around. And then, yeah, interestingly, they did a really cool recolor in white. So if you're a collector of the 180SX, you probably have this. I think outside of the very first basic version, which is an all-timer for any basic version, this Advan deco is super cool. So those are the basics. And then we have quite a few premiums. So I'll move the camera down a little bit more and then we will add to it. I think this is in order of release. So let's just see in car culture. Now, I thought about just sticking to this kind of wrap triangular, you know, style of the Advan, like the actual racing. But Hot Wheels has done a few models in base or in premium that have been Advan themed. And I've brought those out. I mean, the Advan logo shows up on the HKS models and a few others, but I'm going to stay with the black and red theme. So you go all the way back to the very first car culture mix, and the Datsun 510 wagon got an Advan deco. Obviously, it's not the wraparound, but it's pretty sweet. Advan deco with the side NGK, Greddy, everything. JCCS is on this, Japanese nostalgic car. The Kaido House Zero is on it. It's a very cool model, obviously in the black and red. So that's one that I think is pretty cool. Put that one right here. Next one, another one. This one actually did get the wrap, but it's a little different, and it's this unique, still one-off Acura NSX, right? Racing NSX, where they changed the chassis. They did this for basic, but they changed the chassis for premium and did it in Advan livery, and I still don't think we've seen this since. I still don't think we have seen this one since. But it does get the more standard Advan striping, at least on the sides. Doesn't get it on the back with the spoiler, but it's still a very, very cool model with the red chassis and everything else. I've always been a big fan of this car, and I wonder if we'll ever see it again in its premium form. I have no idea. Here, I'm going to move this. I always kind of guess where I'm going to put these. All right, next one. Going back to wagons, this was from Team Transport. As a matter of fact, I even have the transporter that it came with, so we can put that behind there. So Team Transport, one of the early Team Transport. This is the Skyline van, Nissan Skyline van. Advan deco as well. Obviously, it's a little different because you get the striping on the hood, striping on the sides. And I always thought the Skyline van deco to me, it kind of put to bed the 510 wagon casting. Maybe you could officially say that June's Kaido House wagon put the Hot Wheels to bed, but June also designed the Skyline van before he left, and I think this is a really, really cool model. And yeah, came with whatever this hauler is. So this is the first hauler. We've had a couple. Next one, well, we'll see it again, but there is the Porsche. This came in car culture. Can't even remember what the set was. We'll put that on the turntable once we get the opening one. Acura is back. Racing NSX again. This was in Entertainment. I think Hot Wheels Entertainment. And Advan livery as well. This one gets a proper wrap. Project Cars 2. Yeah, when this one came out. It looks very cool. And yeah, you got two racing NSXs. In fact, I'll just move the Porsche over here. I can put those together like that, although you can't really see it. That's okay. Back to Team Transport. Here was the hauler. You get an Advan hauler, just like what Mini GT's done a hauler as well. But we've got the Advan hauler that Hot Wheels did for Team Transport. That one looks nice. We'll put that over here. And if you remember the model that came with it, with a proper wrap, well, almost a proper wrap, was the R32 Skyline. R32 Skyline has gotten every cool deco. It's gotten the HKS, it's gotten the plain white, plain black for Fast and Furious. And this Advan Deco adds to that lore, wrapping all the way around. I thought this was a really cool model with those rims. So you got the Skyline, which looks fantastic. Now you see how cool this family is forming. I don't know if this is the exact next one, but the A86 got the Advan livery for Boulevard on the hood, on the sides, red on the back. This one looks fantastic. Another model that's gotten iconic decos is the A86, like Falcon and Basic, TRD for one of the car culture mixes. It did get initial D for that Japan only release. That's been a fantastic model. We'll put this towards the front. Then unlicensed, but it's been in a 2-pack. It's also been, I think, in Boulevard. This is the MBK van, but styled after Toyota van, like a Japanese Toyota van. And this one gets the full Advan wrap. Sides up over the top, looks really cool. It's a very boxy van, and full Advan Deco on this one. So that one is cool. Coming from, yeah, it was in a 2-pack, and then once in RLC. Not even Spectre Flame. We get the Advan Hakosuka Skyline. This one looks great. This is the RLC model with the opening hood, which is fantastic. Hard to open with my gloves, so I'm not gonna. You've seen it before. But the red trim on the seats, which looks so cool, and then obviously all the rest of the deco, Yokohama as well. I think this is a really, really cool model. So there is the Advan family. Now I'm second guessing myself on this one, but I think I got it all. And we add it in a big way. We add to it with this set. So let me bring the camera up. Here it is. We've already looked at it. Let me get it. Well, first off, what I'll do here is we'll talk about the actual set itself, and then I need a little time to actually get it off of the base here. Let's open that up. All right, get rid of the box. Here it is. Racing background looks fantastic. Let me try and fill the shot. How cool does that look? Really nice deco. They've done a nice job with this diorama set for sure. I mean, you could definitely display it just like that. I think that looks awesome. All right, so there are the models. You can look at them in their placements. Why don't we free them from their prison? All right, all set up. Put everything back. This is a fabulous set. Let's get the Porsche out of the way. We've already talked about it. It is, I mean, what sucks is it's a repeat. What's fantastic is that it's a 962 Porsche in Advan livery, which is an iconic livery. I don't see, I'm trying to, oh, there's some differences. I mean, they're very technical. Lighter color on the older one. The Advan logo on the window appears to be a little different, right? Darker red, but a darker red, and almost like the letters are just a little more blocky, if that's a word. Everything else I think is the same. I'll go ahead and put it, like the wheels are the same, everything on the striping is the same. I'll go ahead and put it on the turntable so that you can just have a look at the Porsche as it is. Yeah, it looks pretty similar. There's a slight difference there, but I don't think anything. I mean, if you really wanted to differentiate the two, you could, right? So that is that. It's on the turntable now. You can take a look at it. I mean, it really is cool. The only complaint is that it's a repeat, right? I mean, what models would you put there? I have no idea. The next one is the Liberty Walk Skyline. Well, you know what? Yeah, I was going to do the car show. You know what? Let's just see. I said we're going to do 2 car shows. Let me just show you real quickly. We're just in the middle of it. I'm not even going to put these on the turntable, but I'll just show you that one of the cool things about the 962 is the iconic decos it's gotten. You've already seen the Advan, so I'll just show you real quick. There's Greddy. I'm just going to even just show you real quick. It's had the Greddy deco. I'm not even going to keep these in the camera. It's had the Momo deco. I think I've got all of them out here. It's had the Racing Valvoline. This was the 2-pack set that had the Advan in it as well, and also had this Valvoline deco, which is really, really cool. That might be my favorite one. It's had shell deco, which looks awesome. And then it's had, we'll just call it a tribute. Racing just says racing on it, but you know what this is, right? So we'll just call it a racing tribute as well. So this car has really come out in a bunch of iconic liveries. Advan probably being the coolest one, but I mean the Momo and the Valvoline, you know, you can talk about all of them. That's a quick car show. I said we do two. I usually like to do it afterwards, but you know what? We're just doing this whole thing because I was going to say we can get to the Advan Skyline. It's been in basic a few times. Liberty Walk Skyline, and you know it's been in premium as far as Team Transport. This was last year. It's been in two different releases, I think, last year. So it got this one in Team Transport with the 4 spokes. Actually, cool. I think this is the third wheel we're getting on it. So this is cool. So we've had the 4 spokes in the Team Transport in the actual deco that this Skyline has, right? The Liberty Walk Skyline in the baby blue, and then we had it in that second Skyline diorama set. This one actually got the 5 spoke rims on it, and this one looks cool. I love this one in clean white. It seems that this one has replaced the old Ken Mary Skyline casting. It's better proportioned. Obviously, it has the Liberty Walk elements to it, but it is a better proportioned Skyline casting than the original. But that was a different time. They didn't have as much to work with. The smaller wheels weren't as good anyway. So it's nice to see, although I would love to see one in this proportion done as more of like a GTR, like a classic GTR Skyline. But this in Advan looks great. You get the Liberty Walk deco on the rear panel. You get the full Advan wrap on this one up over the roof. Advan on the hood, the triangular Advan. You get Advan on the windshield. I think all of them do. Yeah, all of them get Advan on the windshield. This thing is awesome. And then it gets the Watanabe rims, which is nice to see. See the Watanabe rims get the treatment on this one because that looks really good on the Skyline as well. Love the way they did the back with the black paneling. This is great. This casting's getting it too, right? Iconic Liberty Walk, plain white. Now the Advan. That's quite the family of for this casting. I absolutely love it. But the model to have, easily the model to have. I didn't even talk about the truck. I guess I will. The truck isn't the model to have, but it's nice. I'll say this about the truck. We now have 3 haulers, right? We already showed them, but what's this one? The Carry-On. That was the first one. We have the box truck, whatever it's called, the Sakura Sprinter, which is very much done in that Hino cab, so that looks cool. But this is very nice. This is the Aerolift. Yokohama. You know, no Advan deco on this, which is interesting. You know, you never know how that licensing worked. There's got to be a reason that there's no Advan on it, but you do get the Advan striping, and I love the color of these 4 spokes on this. So this is a really cool hauler, and of course you can move this one so the cars can actually go up on it, which is nice. So there's that. Let's talk about the MR2. This is the new casting, and I think it was in its prototype form was shown by Ron in our sneak peeks back at the convention. This is, officially the name is the Toyota MR2 TRD 2000 GT. So this is the racing MR2, 2nd gen, right? And holy cow, it's great. Plastic spoiler. As you're watching on the turntable, you can try. It's hard to overlook how awesome it looks in Advan with those white rims. How great is that? But then you try and get a sense of the casting too, and it is also fantastic. Matchbox has done 2 MR2s, and they're both great. And this one adds, you know, they're both more of the factory street versions, and now you get this one to add to it. And not a complaint in the world on how awesome this one looks. You guys tell me what you think. I think this is a great set. This is a long video, I get, but you're giving Advan some proper attention with a snowy white background. It pops, doesn't it? I think they look awesome. You guys tell me what you think. You're gonna buy this set? I think it's worth it. The repeat SKU, but I think it's a fantastic set. And I will say this for Hot Wheels: do more of these theme sets, like these direct themes. Advan, that works. Do like things like the Skyline set or a Porsche set, whatever. Really hit it, like lean into the theme as opposed to a generic racing or something like that. I think we'll all be happier with something like this because this Advan family looks fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Bye.